Okay, great. So, see, one of the challenges that I believe we have with body language is if, for example, I want to reduce my weight, I know I have to go to the gym, right? If I want to, communicate well, probably I'll go to a speaking class, right? If I have to improve my body language observation skills, what are the practices that I should follow? And as an expert, what would you recommend? Do you recommend a certain discipline that we should follow? What are the things that we should do? And if you can tell us how to do it, and of course, you do programs for understanding body language, which is independent. People can visit your website and know a lot about that. But if I were to say, hey, every day, you walk 10,000 steps is a way of getting leaner, if I were to call it. So if I have to learn the language of understanding body language, right?
Hmm.
So what are the practice and skills that you would recommend to me or to anybody in the audience?
I think the first and the most important practice is to just listen. So many of us, most of the times, are eager to share our side of the story that we don't take a step back to try and listen to what the other person is trying to communicate. Now, listening is in two ways. One is obviously the verbal communication, but it's also the non-verbal communication. So if you take a pledge that today when I'm in a meeting, I'm with my daughter, or I'm with my mother, or I'm with my colleague, with my boss, whoever it is, okay, because all of us have got different environments in which we function. uh, all you do is try and be there in the moment. Try and listen to what the other person is trying to communicate. Okay, for example, you asked a question, at least wait for the person to respond, be it through their body language, be it through their words. If you are ready that, okay, as soon as I ask this question, this is the next set of instructions that I want to give, then you're not really listening to what the other person is saying, right? So many organizations spend millions and millions of their money on just this aspect because they did not listen into what the person was saying. There were conflicts happening, but the leader was not observing, they were not listening to what's there. So coming back, you listen to what is happening. If you feel that you want to learn more about body language, you can start by looking at one part of the body at a time. Okay, so for example, you think that, okay, today let me just focus on face. Is also a lot of things happening on the face, but let's just say that broadly you would say, let me just start by focusing on the face. Now face is something most of us inadvertently look at. Okay, so while I'm looking at you, I don't want to just look at how many times you're nodding back at me. I want to be able to see how many times is that eyebrow moving. And when I'm seeing that eyebrow move, I will try and think what in that conversation made you react in that manner. Okay, so little by little, you try and see different parts of the body. You try and see when people are making those changes in their expressions, their gestures, the posture of the body. And you remember this one mantra that when people are going to be comfortable, they are trying to open up, and when they are not comfortable, they are trying to go and close down. What are they doing to open up? What are they doing to close down? Those are the things you start observing little by little. Okay, and most important is to introspect. How am I sitting in this meeting? Am I looking tensed, which is why the other person is looking tensed? Okay, so once you start understanding yourself also well, that also helps. So three things to do. One is to just try and listen into what's happening in that conversation without being in a hurry to talk or multitasking on your phone or your devices. Second one is to look at different parts of the body and look at how people are opening up, shutting down. And the third is to look at yourself a little more closely than you were previously. So once you do these things, I think you will naturally become good at observing.
Okay.